is all you got.
Caught for a touchdown.
We came to fight.
He's breaking free.
Touchdown, and that's a safety.
Welcome back to Reliant Stadium in Houston, where the fans, the players, and Dan Dierdorf and myself all set to go. The toss was won by the Indianapolis Colts, and they will receive, and that means Peyton Manning on offense. And if you talk about a guy who can't wait for another season to get underway the way the last one ended, it would be number 18.
Yes, and that's true of everyone else on the Colts roster. Losing a Super Bowl, everyone talks about the losing Super Bowl hangover. The Colts, from the last player on the 53-man roster to the owner, they don't want to hear about it. They don't want to talk about it. They are pretending that it does not apply to the Colts. And when you win 12 games that many years in a row, I could see why you're a little confident.
Neil Racker's set to kick it away to first-year man Devin Moore, 5'9", 190 pounds, out of Wyoming, originally from Indianapolis, Indiana. Rackers is ready, and we're underway in Houston. A yard deep in the end zone is Moore. And will get buried right about the 20-yard line. Xavier Adidi leading the charge. Peyton Manning, the 10-time Pro Bowler, begins his 13th NFL season. 33 touchdown passes a year ago as he got the Colts off to a 14-0 start and an eventual Super Bowl berth. As we sat around with him yesterday, Dan, none of us could believe this is season number 13, Peyton notwithstanding.
No, he still looks so young and oh so durable. What is this? It's 193rd consecutive start.
He will start from the shotgun. Fakes, got rid of it, and completes it to a dive. And a dive buried at about the line of scrimmage by Zach Dials.
But this is one positive as far as the Texans. On the first play of the game, Peyton Manning is up on the ground. They want to hit him. This is nothing new. You want to do that to the opposing quarterback, but it's so hard to get to him. And you see Mario Williams comes in and drops Peyton Manning. Nice move. He puts on Ryan Dean, the right tackle, getting to the inside shoulder and upfield.
Give him a yard pickup on the play, and it's 2nd and 9. Manning under pressure again and completes to Dallas Clark out across the 25 to about the 28-yard line. Question mark on the offensive line of Indianapolis. Charlie Johnson guarding Peyton Manning's blind side, hobbled by a sore foot. He bears watching today. Joseph Adai, the running back. Reggie Wayne leads a bevy of talented receivers for Manning to target.
Peyton making some changes at the last second, back in a huddle. That wasn't their muddle huddle up by the line of scrimmage. They were in a full huddle that time. And again, they go with the bunch formation down here to the near side.
No one better than converting third downs the last 3 years in the NFL than the Indianapolis Colts. Manning with time. In and out of the hands of his intended receiver, Dallas Clark.
Well, that is a superlative series for the Texans to get this thing started. It involved pressure on Manning, and on the third play, it involved outstanding coverage. Peyton had nowhere to go, and I think even if that pass was completed, it wouldn't have been for enough yardage to move the chains.
D'Amico Ryans did the job of separating ball from receiver. Ready to kick it away for the Colts. Pat McAfee. Jacoby Jones from his own 30. Midfield. 40. Tracked down at about his 30-yard line by Justin Tryon. 41-yard punt, 39-yard return.
Well, it's nothing new to know that Jacoby Jones is an explosive return man, and especially for a guy that's 6 feet 2 inches tall. Long legs, that is just great blocking. But that last move slowed him down to the point where Tryon could come in. But take a look at the quality of the blocks that he's getting from these guys. Barber comes up with a beautiful one that springs him there.
Great field position for the Texans. The Indianapolis 31, Schaub throwing outside, and that is complete to Kevin Walter, number 83. Matt Schaub an outstanding season last year. The Pro Bowl MVP after leading Houston to its first winning season in franchise history. Only thing that could have been better for Matt Schaub is if it had been a contract year.
Yes, that's exactly right. But after a couple of 8-8 seasons back-to-back, they finally made that hurdle up to 9-7. Of course, they had to win the last 4 games of the year to do so.
2nd and 3. Arian Foster is deep in the backfield. Schaub going to throw the short one a little behind Vontae Leach, the fullback. And it'll be 3rd and 3 on the Texans offensive line. 3rd-year left tackle Dwayne Brown will try to keep Dwight Freeney off of Schaub today. And the backs and the receivers include Andre Johnson, number 1 in the NFL in yards receiving last year and the year before that too. Third and 3. Schaub over the middle and inside the 20-yard line, complete to Jacoby Jones for a first down.
Well, that was good work by Jacoby Jones going down and getting that pass from Matt Schaub. First of all, he's going to have a pretty solid pocket in there. Yeah, I know it looks a little cluttered, but it was really pretty solid. He had the ability to stand tall and wait for Jones to break open, and that I'm sure that Schaub was nice to deliver that one. He was happy to deliver that one on the numbers after that bad pass to Leach the play before.
From the 18-yard line, Schaub under center. Here's Arian Foster trying the left side, inside the 15 to about the 12-yard line. Let's check the Colts 4-3 defense. Dwight Freeney, the number 1 of a big 1-2 punch with Robert Mathis on the outside. The linebackers, Clint Session had 2 interceptions last year, both against the Texans. One of them he returned for a touchdown here in Houston. The Indianapolis secondary, terrific safeties. Antoine Bethea is rejoined by hard-hitting and healthy Bob Sanders. Peyton Manning on the sideline. Foster in the backfield. On 2nd and 4, it's Foster coming to this side, inside the 10, and close to another first down at the Indianapolis 8.
Well, one of the things they think that Arian Foster brings is the ability to run into the hole, make one cut, and head upfield. He is not a dancer. They love the power that he runs with. You know, he got in, you see right there, the last 2 games last year, when you get a guy that gets an opportunity. And Foster was about as low as you could get coming into training camp last year as a rookie. He gets a chance and he runs it for 5.5 yards a carry, gets 3 touchdowns. This is the first time, though, as an NFL player, he's gone to camp as the guy.
Houston now 1st and goal at the Colts 8-yard line. To about the 6, Foster carries again. It's been an interesting ride for Arian Foster, hasn't it, Dan?
Well, it really has. You see in high school, just led the nation, 2,500 all-purpose yards. He then goes to the University of Tennessee, where, you know, his career, big junior year, but then a very disappointing senior year. And he really went undrafted, and the Texans took a chance on him. Gary Kubiak devoted a lot of time and attention to Arian Foster. He now understands what it means to be an NFL player.
He said he finally got it late last year.
The light came on.
On 2nd and goal, Schaub, quick pass over the middle, tipped and falls, incomplete. The pass intended for number 81, Owen Daniels, the tight end who missed half of last season after a torn ACL.
No, it's wonderful to see Daniels back on the field, but when you challenge the middle of the field against the Colts, you're challenging maybe the best safety duo in the NFL, and that is that guy 21, Bob Sanders, and Antoine Bethea, the free safety, and they were both involved on that play on Owen Daniels. If Bob Sanders is healthy, I think everybody knows the story, what he brings to the table. But Antoine Bethea, his safety mate back there, a superlative player.
And we get a timeout here with 9:41 to play in the first quarter. Matt Schaub and the Houston Texans threatening.
Welcome back to Houston, everybody. Here's Bob Sanders right here. Watch how awkwardly he lands as he goes over the top of Daniels and Bethea. And we're going to have to watch this. He landed right on his head. and he was a little slow to get up. The Indianapolis training staff came out and talked to him, but he didn't want any attention. But that's a heck of a way to get your season started. 3rd and goal. Steve Slayton in the backfield. Schaub from the shotgun. Throwing over the middle. In and out of the hands. And was that picked off? Did Bob Sanders get that?
Incomplete.
How close was that?
Jacoby Jones had it go off his fingertips. Then it went off the fingertips of Sanders.
Well, Bob Sanders did everything he could do to try to keep that ball from touching the turf. Again, Matt Schaub goes into the middle where there is a lot of traffic, and he did put the ball on the hands. Watch that. I mean, that is a catchable pass by Jacoby Jones. Yes, he had a guy hanging on him, but it would still hit him in the palm of the hand.
Neil Rackers, who displaced Chris Brown as the place kicker on this team, from 25 yards out. Well, the penalty marker is down. Ed Hockley, our referee today.
Before the ball was snapped, false start, offense number 78. 5-yard penalty, it's still 4th down.
Rashad Butler guilty.
Well, you don't see that very often, a false start on a field goal try. Luckily, it was close enough where the yardage should make too big a difference, but I doubt Rackers is really thrilled about having to do it again.
This time from 30 yards out. Matt Turk, the holder. And it's good. Just a tad over 9.5 to play here in the first quarter. The Houston Texans with a 3-0 lead.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. The new 2011 Mustang, a whole new breed of car. And by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
9:32 to play in the first quarter. Texans with a 3-0 lead on the 30-yard field goal by Rackers after a 9-play, 19-yard drive. Devin Moore deep again for the kick. Moore from the 5. And once again wrapped up at about the 20-yard line. Jamar Wall leading the charge. Hey, find out why TV Guide calls Hawaii Five-0 Fall's hottest new show and the coolest remake ever. Catch the Wave Monday, September the 20th, only CBS. New voices in Peyton Manning's ear this year, Dan.
Yes, Tom Moore has become an offensive assistant, and Clyde Christensen is now calling the plays. Of course, he's been in Indianapolis for 9 years. He was the wide receiver coach. So it's not that he and Peyton Manning are strangers. They've been working on this for years.
A dive. About 5 to about the 25-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 5.
I'm not sure there are many organizations that handle the handoff quite as well as the Colts do. From Tony Dungy to Jim Caldwell, that was in the works for a couple of years. And the same thing now with the handoff to Christensen from Tom Moore. And Howard Mudd, the offensive line coach, handed it off to Pete Metzelaars. Bill Polian's organization, they wrote the book on how to do this.
When it comes time to make a transition, it isn't much of a transition at all.
It's pretty seamless.
On 2nd and 5. Manning complete over the middle. That's first down yardage to Austin Collie, number 17, the second-year wideout from BYU.
Well, for those of you above a certain age, you remember the old tearaway jerseys. As you can see, they're no longer in use. There's Austin Collie working in the slot. Comes in underneath the clearance, and you see D'Amico Ryan's got the one hand on him enough to slow him down.
A dive once again, and this time wrapped up at about the 32-yard line. Mario Williams, number 90.
Well, Joseph Adai, a Houston native, it's always fun for him to come back home here and play in front of the family and friends. And if you're going to cut back, and this is a pretty slick little move, but an outstanding job of Mario Williams holding the edge and honoring his responsibilities and realizing the cutback is coming and reacting to it.
Second and 10. Short drop on the slant. Reggie Wayne across the 40, out to about the 44, and a first down for Indianapolis.
I know the crowd really gets into it when Peyton starts to move around, and then the crowd thinks they're having an effect on him. Ask Peyton Manning. He says, I love opening up on the road. It's actually easier than opening at home. Crowd noise does not faze me in any shape, manner, or form.
Complete to Collie. Tripped up just short of the 50-yard line by Kareem Jackson, the rookie corner out of Alabama.
Well, there's Jackson, the #1 pick. And of course, he's been in big games before. But again, this is a bootleg going the one way, and you can see when Collie runs it, there's no way to defend that route. Luckily, Houston was sitting back in a zone, and they were able to react to it pretty quickly. That's where you love to catch him in man coverage, and then that guy's wide open and might run for a long way.
Pick up a 5, makes it 2nd and 5. Manning over the middle, off the hand of Pierre Garçon, number 85. It'll be 3rd and 5. And of course, it's a staple, and every team in the league knows you have to at least try to hurry Peyton Manning. But Mario Williams made no bones about it when we talked about it yesterday, Dan. He said, if Peyton's uniform is clean at the end of the day, you probably lost.
Yeah, we're in trouble. And he said, you can't get frustrated because there are times where if there was no offensive line at all, just covering the ground between you and he's still going to throw the ball and complete it.
On 3rd and 5 now, Manning under pressure, eludes the chase, and that's off the fingertips.
Well, again, right off the bat, we talked before kickoff about this offensive line, and we have seen a couple guys come through clean on Peyton Manning. This time it's Antonio Smith. He just goes right around Jamie Richard, and that, Peyton Manning, that is not what he wants to see. And that is why that was an incomplete pass. Credit Antonio Smith. Great move up the middle.
In a department at which the Colts excel, 3rd down conversions. They're 0 for 2 today. Jacoby Jones deep once again at his own 10. Fair catch called for and made at about the 15.5-yard line. 6:02 to play. First quarter. Houston back on offense, leading by 3. We talked to you about the close games in this rivalry, and no one knows it better than the Colts. In Indianapolis last year, Chris Brown missed a 42-yarder as time expired. The Texans came up short 20-17. In their second meeting here in Houston, the Texans took an early 17-0 lead. Colts came back. Cliff Sessions interception and touchdown put them up. They won 35-7.
Well, there you take a look at that margin of defeat. A note here, Melvin Bullitt has replaced Bob Sanders at safety.
Matt Shaw has it. Looking deep. Throwing deep. Incomplete. Penalty marker. Kelvin Hayden going to be flagged for the interference on Kevin Walter.
Well, Kevin Walter was so open, he almost had to come to a stop to wait for that pass. He was so far away.
Pass interference, defense, number 26. The ball is placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
Kelvin Hayden there, you can see him working with Walter. He's expecting safety help. I'm assuming he's expecting this help coming over. But there's no question that that's interference. But again, the pass was underthrown, and that's what got Hayden back into the play, or else that would have been a touchdown pass.
That's a 53-yard pickup, and down goes Shaw, courtesy of Dwight Freeney. You know, there's something exciting about the first NFL Today of the season. JB, what you got?
Greg and Dan, good to hear your voices. Wes Welker back healthy after that season-ending knee injury, the last game of the regular season. On the receiving end of that Tom Brady pass, capping a 5-play, 72-yard drive. Patriots on top of the Bengals, 7-0. Greg Gumbel and Dan Deardorff.
All right, JB, thank you. And Bob Sanders has returned to the lineup now in the Indianapolis secondary. 2nd and 17. Shaw. Flare out to the side. Nice grab by Foster down the sideline. We made a point of asking Matt Schaub about his receiving skills, and Matt Schaub said he can catch the ball.
Yeah, he said he's actually quite good. He said he's good in space. He's a good, Foster will tell us, I need to improve my pass protection, but there's probably not a running back in football that doesn't feel that they need to improve in that area.
Nice one-handed grab on that, a 7-yard pickup, and Schaub looking at a 3rd and 10. Schaub throwing outside, incomplete. Jacoby Jones, the intended receiver, guarded by Justin Tryon. Just signed the middle of this week.
And Matt Schaub was going to get rid of that thing in a hurry. He had Freeney coming again on the other side. He did his little spin move. I'm sure Dwight likes to have that first sack on the books that he got a couple downs ago.
So Neil Rackers is going to try one from 49 yards out. Kick is on its way and is good. Rackers 2 for 2. Houston 6. Colts nothing.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by AT&T. Rethink possible. And by the Capital One Venture Card. What's in your wallet?
Two Houston drives resulting in field goals. The first helped by a 39-yard Jacoby Jones punt return. The second by a 53-yard pass interference call on the Colts. And Devin Moore deep once again for Indy. Moore from his own 3. Out across the 25 to about the 28-yard line. Down 6 points. Peyton Manning. Then they'll start to look for some receivers as Colts are in the hole.
You're watching the NFL on CBS.
First down for the Colts. And here's Joseph Adai. And Adai can't escape the tackle by Mario Williams. Is your fantasy football site letting you down? There's still time to upgrade to the award-winning Fantasy Football Commissioner. Get a special offer and help moving your league at cbssports.com/upgrade.
Well, we've still got a little more than 4 minutes left in the first quarter, but the Houston front 4 is off to a very good start.
Manning on 2nd and 9. Throwing down the sideline, picked off but out of bounds by Bernard Pollard.
Well, even though that pass ended up out of bounds because that's where Peyton Manning threw it. He saw that Reggie Wayne was completely double covered. And that pass, that was I have to believe, more of a throwaway from Peyton Manning. But if he's going to throw it away, he ought to do a better job than that.
How about those ball skills from Bernard Pollard?
Yes.
3rd and 9. Going to move Dallas Clark to the other side. Manning with time, throwing up the seam, and it's complete to Reggie Wayne. And penalty markers fly.
There comes a late flag, and there's a new emphasis this year on hitting a receiver after he makes a catch with a helmet.
Here's Ed Hockley.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness defense, number 29. Helmet contact to a defenseless receiver.
Well, the crowd boos, but you better get used to it. As a DB, you've got to be careful how you hit a receiver when he's in a defenseless position. And that was the crown of the helmet from Quinn right into the face of Reggie Wayne. And that is a great way to get somebody hurt, and that will get flagged every time.
So the Colts now all the way to the Houston 35, and they give us to a dive, running rope, dancing, and he eventually gets all of about 3 yards.
Well, while we're talking about things that are new here in the 2010 season when we got someone hurt, we're going to talk about the umpire position, but this looks serious as the Houston staff is waving for help. We'll be right back, everybody.
Yep. The Houston Texan who is down on the field is second-year defensive lineman Connor Barwin, of whom Gary Kubiak says he had a great deal of promise.
Well, and his knee gets totally collapsed here, and we'll show it one time, and if you're the least bit uncomfortable, find something else to do with your eyes for the next 10 seconds or so. But he'll be right in the middle of your screen, and it's actually his own teammate, Antonio Smith, who makes contact with his leg. There's Barwin right there in the middle of your screen, and right there you see Smith falls on his right knee and just totally collapses it. And Connor Barwin going off on a cart, and Greg was right. You don't want to jump to any conclusions, but a knee is not meant to be contorted in that shape, in that manner.
His teammates going out and paying tribute to him as he is wheeled off, and as soon as we get word on him, we of course will pass it along. 6'4", 260 pounds in his second season out of Cincinnati. Meanwhile, the Colts have a 2nd and 8 at the Houston 33. Manning under center, and hello, Antonio Smith, part of the Colt backfield.
5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Well, Antonio Smith didn't make any effort to get back on the other side of the line of scrimmage.
I'm here, just deal with it.
Yeah, if you're able to get back, it's not a penalty.
So now Manning with a 2nd and 3. Play clock down to 5. 2, 1. Got the snap off in time. A dive. Going to get a first down. There's a penalty marker back above the 20-yard line. So there's first down yardage, but let's check the flag.
Well, first of all, a heck of a job running by Adai, whether this comes back or not. He had to dodge Okoye in his own backfield.
There were 2 fouls by the offense on the play. Illegal shift, number 29, wasn't set for a full second. That penalty is declined. Holding, offense number 63. That's a 10-yard penalty enforced from the previous spot. Repeat 2nd down.
Well, the first penalty was Peyton's fault because he didn't give Adai. He was out of time, and Adai didn't have time to get set with the quick snap. But the holding call on Jeff Saturday is the one that's going to be enforced.
Penalties mounting up early here today. Moves the line of scrimmage back to the 38, where it'll be 2nd and 13. And for all of the notions about Peyton Manning throwing the ball, he told us it was important to get Joseph Adai some running room, although Donald Brown is in the backfield now. Manning under pressure, throws outside and complete. Manning hit the dirt. Mario Williams got it.
Well, Mario Williams here unblocked. Well, you don't see this Colts offense allowing a guy like this to come in untouched. That you can't do that to your quarterback. That is not the design. That is not the scheme. You can see both Charlie Johnson and Donald Brown took the inside rusher You don't release Mario Williams under any circumstance.
Manning needs the 25-yard line for a first down. Got away from the pressure, down the sideline, and got his man at the 10-yard line. That is Anthony Gonzalez.
Well, again, Peyton Manning.
And ruled out of bounds now.
Well, again, it's Peyton Manning having to deal with a collapsing pocket. Right here, look at Peyton dodging traffic, sliding all around, trying to find an opening to throw the ball. All right, there's Gonzalez working against the Houston zone. Boy, at first blush, I can see why they thought it was a completed pass.
No argument from the Colts sideline. So Pat McAfee will try to pin the Texans down deep. And now we do get the challenge flag.
There's the flag. It looked, and we've only looked at one replay, but I agree with Jim Caldwell. That's worth a challenge.
Indianapolis is challenging the ruling on the field. The pass was incomplete.
So Ed Hockley will come over and take a look as we give you another look at it.
Well, Peyton Manning fights for a place to throw the ball. Gonzalez has, that left heel's on the line. From the other angle we looked at, it looked like this angle here, it looks like both his feet are in the field of play. But I think right there, his left heel, at least from that other replay, looked like it was out of bounds. We'll dial that one back up here for you in a second or two, and again, see if we can get a good look at whether Anthony Gonzalez had both feet on the green. Here's the look we want to see. See right there, that heel to me looks like it's out of bounds and the ball's not even there yet. Nice job tightening up on it, and keep in mind, everybody, the ruling on the field was an incomplete pass. I don't see any way that Ed Hockley overturns it and gives a reception to the Colts.
So Ed Hockley still under the hood, but this one looks pretty clear. We have 1:53 to play here in the first quarter.
Rob Torbert was the side judge who actually had the good look at it there. He's the one who ruled it an incomplete pass.
The receiver's left foot came down on the sideline. The ruling on the field is therefore confirmed. The pass was incomplete. Indianapolis was charged with a timeout.
Now down to 2 timeouts. Houston has 2 timeouts remaining. And Pat McAfee in to kick. If this were a field goal situation, Adam Vinatieri would be attempting about a 56-yarder, and that's pretty long for Vinatieri.
Well, the story of this first quarter has been the absence of a pocket for Peyton Manning.
Aiming for the corner, and then it eludes Justin Tryon and bounces into the end zone for the touchback. Houston will start from their own 20-yard line. We check in with James Brown in New York. JB.
Greg, after an 0-6 start last season by the Titans, Vince Young got the call. They went 8-2. He's trying to pick up where he left off. Up top, Greg, 56 yards to Nate Washington. That puts Tennessee out in front by the score of 10-3 over Oakland. Greg Gumbel, Dan Deerdorf.
JB, thanks. You know, Dan, it's been like night and day with Vince Young, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. And Jeff Fisher, he maintained faith in him, and he's been rewarded.
From the 20-yard line, Matt Schaub. They give it to Arian Foster. Foster with a little running room out to the 25-yard line. Hey, it's not too late to play NFL.com's all-new fantasy football game, the first and only game with video. It's free and easy to play. Sign up today at NFL.com/fantasy.
Well, again on this series, I believe that Melvin Bullock is in at the safety positions instead of Bob Sanders. Buffet and Bullock are the 2 deep safeties for the Colts.
Foster again, right side, and diving for first down yardage, and he appears to be right at that first down marker. Antoine Bethea cut him down.
And cut him down he did. But a good physical surge by the Texans offensive line that time. You can hear the pads pop clear up here. Look how they seal the inside and then right in behind Vontae Leach. And he was going to get a little mileage out of that, except Antoine Bethea. Excellent job filling for the safety.
3rd and inches. Foster and Vontae Leach behind Shaw. And Foster going to get the call again, has the first down. Across the 30 to about the 32.5-yard line. We've been talking with the young man. How many football players out on the field are philosophy majors?
Oh, well, not many, but count that man among them. And I'll say this, Greg, the Texans wanted to play a physical football game. This has been a physical first quarter, and they have won the physical battle.
The last time these teams met, Houston led 14-0 after one. They ended up losing. Today, they're in charge, 6-0 so far. And we're back to Houston after this. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Mentioned this to you earlier. Jacoby Jones had a 39-yard punt return, which led to the first field goal for Houston. Kelvin Hayden's interference was good for 53 yards for the Texans and led to their second. And now on first down, this is Arian Foster. And in on that play is not number 21, Bob Sanders. We've scanned the sidelines and seems to be missing in action right now, Dan. We're trying to find out where he is.
Yeah, we're trying to contact the Colts to find out if they've got any information for us on Bob Sanders. And again, a player going into the locker room isn't that big a deal unless it's a guy with the injury history of Bob Sanders. And we saw that very awkward tumble he took in the first quarter. And anytime Bob Sanders has to leave the field, it's news.
Meanwhile, no surprise from the Houston sideline. Connor Barwin's leg injury, and he is out for the remainder of this game at least. Shaw, short drop, outside, that's complete. Good for yardage. Jacoby Jones down the sideline and out of bounds inside the Colt 45-yard line.
Bob Sanders, we're being told by the Colts, has an elbow issue, and his return is listed as questionable. So they're trying to determine the severity of his injury to an elbow.
You know, Dan, when we talked to him yesterday, I was almost afraid to ask him a question because I didn't want him to hit me. But I asked him if there was any way that you can play smarter, and he understood what I was saying, but he only knows how to play the game one way, and that's all out.
No, and that's right. And he did land really awkwardly. Keep in mind, though, last year he had a knee and a bicep tendon injury that ended his year.
This is Steve Slayton. No, play action, fake, and the pass inside the 25-yard line. Andre Johnson makes his first catch of the day, and it's a big one. Nice play fake by Matt Shaw.
Well, and, you know, play action is a little more effective if you're running the football effectively. And they've had some good runs from Foster, and that really sets up this play action. But you see Jones clears, and then Johnson slides in right in underneath him. Jacoby Jones went deep, took the safeties with him, and then Andre Johnson slides into the void right underneath.
101 catches last year for a league-leading 1,569 yards for Andre Johnson. Shaw, little pump fake, throwing over the middle, touchdown!
That was beautiful by Matt Shaw. That is a veteran quarterback looking off the secondary with that shoulder fake to Jacoby Jones on the left side and then coming back on the seam pattern down the middle. That is beautiful. Look at this right here. That is selling it. That was just beautiful. And then right down the seam is Kevin Walter. But Matt Schaub, from a quarterback standpoint, couldn't possibly have done it any better.
And the extra point, Neil Rackers is good. 3 drives for Houston. A field goal, and then a touchdown pass. Matt Schaub to Kevin Walter. And the Houston Texans lead it 13-0. 80-yard drive in 7 plays, and Kevin Walter on the receiving end of Matt Schaub's first touchdown pass of the season. 13-0 Houston. Rackers kicking to them 4. From the 2-yard line. 20. Out to about the 24, 25-yard line. On the sideline, Peyton Manning saw this touchdown, and it's a familiar feeling. Colts falling behind Houston here in Reliance Stadium.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Geico, where 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. FedEx, we understand you need a winning game plan. FedEx. And by Denny's 2-4-6-8 value menu. Try 16 different value meals all day, every day.
Back in Houston, 3 drives, 2 field goals and a touchdown, and Houston leads it by a score of 13-0. And let's see now how Peyton Manning reacts on offense.
And I don't need to remind anyone here in Texas that the last time these two teams played was last November the 29th, right here at Reliant. The Texans were up 17-0 in the second quarter and lost 35-27. So having a lead and not maintaining that lead is something the Texans have done with some regularity against the Colts.
From the 24-yard line. Manning, this side, and that's complete. Pierre Garçon, and Garçon twisting his way to about the 31, 32-yard line. And pay particular attention to that man, because today's umpire is Chad Brown, and he's a particular interest when Peyton Manning's quarterbacking thanks to the new rules change.
Well, now you see he's going behind the offense, back into position instead of where he's been for years. Keep in mind, the umpire used to just line up about 4 or 5 yards behind the nose tackle on the defensive side of the ball. But new here in 2010, he's now going to spot the ball and get into the offensive backfield. This is all about safety of that umpire, who's taken some pretty violent hits over the years. There were some timing issues, some illegal snaps by the Colts in the preseason, and we'll see how it plays out today.
First down Colts, Manning looking left, throws, and that's Collie. Collie right at that first down marker. Now these umpires, they've had their battles in the middle and been on the short end of a lot of tough hits.
We could put something together here and show you this 100 times over. You are right in the middle of things. You're looking at the ball and the play. There's no way that you can pick up all the people coming at you from every direction. 360 degrees are coming at you. And this is all about the safety of the umpire, putting him in the offensive backfield. He'll move into his old spot. 2 minutes left in the first half. 5 minutes left in the game.
A dive across midfield and just into Houston territory. This is where the umpire used to be on the defensive side of the ball, as you said.
They've been tweaking this. He doesn't have to be all the way back. He can still be backpedaling into situation. He just has to be behind the deepest offensive player. He'll also, by the way, go back into his customary position whenever the ball is inside the 5-yard line. Complicated, yes. If it keeps the umpire from getting smacked around, it'll be a good thing.
2nd and 6. Manning throwing. That's complete. Complete to Dallas Clark. Although Peyton took pains yesterday, he knew right away who the umpiring crew was, and he said, if anybody can take the hit, it's Chad Brown.
Yeah. Well, as you can see, Chad, this isn't his first rodeo. He's a long-time NFL official, and he's lost some way. These umpires, they're going to have to cover a whole lot more ground than they used to. Nothing new there for the Colts.
3rd and 2.
Peyton lets everybody in the sandbox.
Over the middle, that is incomplete, in and out of the hands of Pierre Garçon. Should have had it.
Boy, and Peyton Manning's frustration is going to bubble here pretty soon. This is exactly what he wanted. He got Garçon on a crossing pattern, and he had some room. He got some separation from the rookie Kareem Jackson. Yep, Peyton. Frustration 101.
McAfee to kick. Jacoby Jones to return at his 10. fair catch called for. And made at the 14-yard line. 9:50 to play in the second quarter. Texans pitching a shutout so far. Hey, Thursdays this fall, William Shatner is an outspoken father who tells it like he sees it in the new comedy Bleep My Dad Says. Premieres Thursday, September 23rd after The Big Bang Theory, only CBS. Shaw in the Houston offense from their own 13-yard line. And here is Arian Foster, left side, blocker in front of him. And out of bounds as he crosses the 20.
Boy, good patient runner is Arian Foster. Of course, I'd follow Vontae Leach too. Take a look at the size of that guy, and he's been a big-time fullback in this league for a while. Again, though, that's just quality blocking by the entire offensive unit of the Houston Texans.
7-yard pickup makes it 2nd and 3. 32 yards on the day for Foster.
Love 7 yards on first down.
Foster will go to the right side. Cuts it back across the 30 and a first down. We see the kind of burst that Arian Foster has.
And Arian Foster is a tall guy. You know, in this era where running backs, you know, a lot of them are shorter and more powerful guys. Foster is a full 6'1". And he really gets a great block. Look at that kick-out block from Leach where he just sends Gary Brackett all the way to the outside. But Arian Foster, a big man at 6'1", 227. And a good smile, a good attitude, and he is relishing where he is right now.
He takes a breather. Steve Slayton in the backfield. Slayton gets the handoff. No, play fake, and over the middle, intercepted. Picked off by Melvin Bullitt, and Bullitt is out of bounds inside the Houston 40-yard line.
Well, it's unfair to say that Melvin Bullitt is just the replacement for Bob Sanders, because Bullitt started all last year in Sanders' absence and had an outstanding season. And that is just a bad decision by Matt Schaub, because he's going to take Bullitt is just there to undercut this thing. He had the deep position, and I know Andre Johnson is your go-to guy, but not right into the jaws of double coverage. That was just an incorrect read by Matt Schaub.
So now Peyton Manning set up at the 35 of Houston. Under pressure, throws it out, complete to a dive. And the dive spun down inside the 35 and about the 32. And once again, pressure on Manning.
And again, in this game right here, Amobi Okoye just right in on him, and Manning has no chance to get set.
Now on 2nd and 6, Manning, and that's complete to Dallas Clark. Clark looking for first down yardage, gets it in a little bit more to the 22.
Not bad move there for a walk-on linebacker, huh? Guy who walked on at the University of Iowa as a linebacker, and pretty nifty open field. I thought when he gave up yardage there that he was going to get trapped, and Dallas Clark says, no, I'm a little niftier than that.
100 catches a season ago for Dallas Clark for 1,106 yards and 10 touchdowns. On first down, Manning, the quick slant, and that's complete to about the 17. Reggie Wayne pulling it in.
If you've noticed the last couple of times here, Clyde Christensen and Peyton are going to quicker rhythm passes where the pass rush has no chance whatsoever. This is 1-2, bang, get rid of the football. The pass rush can't be a factor on a pattern of that depth.
Working on second-year corner Bryce Wayne there. Indianapolis, second best in the league in red zone offense. That one looks like Pierre Garçon broke off the route.
Yep, that's one of those rare situations where receiver and quarterback were thinking different things. Colley and Garçon were to the right side of the field that time, That won't be the last time it happens. That's just part of the deal.
Colts 1 out of 5 on third down chances today. Manning down to 3 seconds. 2, 1. Got the snap away. Going over the middle, and that's complete at the 10-yard line. A guy is hit hard. It's enough for a first down.
Well, kudos to Joseph Adai for holding on to this football because he knew what was coming. Bernard Pollard is the guy that puts the second hit on him. The underneath coverage, I believe, is D'Amico Ryans, but it was that hit by
False start, offense, number 61. 5-yard penalty, first down.
That's third-year guard Jamie Richard.
Well, this is Richard's first year of being a starter. So this is, he's got some growing to do. And we talked early on about the offensive line, and a couple of the question marks were at the guard position, the health of Charlie Johnson's foot at left tackle, the health of Jim Saturday's
off his fingertips.
Whoa. Peyton's going, I don't get that many chances at a touchdown. Peyton puts this out in front of Garcon, and it was maybe 6 inches farther than maybe Manning wanted it to go, but that is still a touchdown. That's got to be caught by Pierre Garcon. You've just got to bring that in.
Manning spreads the field on 2nd and goal. Pump fake, end zone, touchdown, Reggie Wayne.
And again, Peyton Manning, he had, I believe, Mario Williams was touching him right on him when he threw that ball.
And Melvin Bullock's pick of a Matt Schaub pass pays off for 6 points, working on 7 for Indianapolis.
Coming off the corner. Behind Bernard Pollard, who thought he had outstanding coverage.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Bank of America. And by the Miller Lite aluminum pint. For more ounces of that great Pilsner taste.
Off the Melvin Bullock interception of a Matt Schaub pass, career touchdown pass number 367 for Peyton Manning. And the Colts are on the board, 13-7 Houston, with just over 5 minutes to play. And Jacoby Jones is deep for the Texans. From the 2. Changes direction. Trying to turn the corner and gets it out to about the 25-yard line. You know, that Manning to Wayne combo works pretty well, Dan.
Yes, it does, as they continue to climb up the charts of prolific duos in Colts history. You see they're just now one behind Johnny Unitas and Raymond Berry. And you can't look at a graphic like that and see Unitas and Berry. You just got to keep in mind, folks, how much tougher it was to throw the football back then. The rules aren't what they are today, very friendly to the passing game. That was something special.
I hear the lineman couldn't pass block as well.
You couldn't. No, you couldn't hold. That's what you couldn't do.
That job over the middle, off fingertips, incomplete pass intended for Jacoby Jones. It'll be 2nd and 10.
We're not exactly seeing a clinic by the receivers on both teams here this afternoon in terms of outstanding catches. We've seen some bobbles. We've seen some outright drops. And Jacoby Jones is very fortunate that didn't end up being an interception, because a lot of times when a ball goes that high up into the air and has that kind of hang time, more often than not there's a defender somewhere in range.
Matt Schaub completed 68% of his throws last year. Manning, 69%. This is Foster, and this time Foster hit in the backfield by hard-charging Gerard Powers.
Well, Gerard Powers is a good story for the Colts. His second-year player, but he started most of last year. He missed 4 games because of a hamstring injury, but he's a good cover guy, and that's good run support. Let's face it, there are corners in this league that don't want to tackle people. This kid's going to be around for a long time.
4.5 to play in the first half.
We got a lot of value out of the third-round pick with Gerard Powers.
Shaw under pressure and goes down at the 20-yard line. Robert Mathis gets his first sack of the season.
Well, the big duo now both on the board. Freeney had one in the first quarter, and now Robert Mathis gets one in the second quarter. These bookend defensive ends, and he almost, watch that, he almost got that ball out of there. Matt, watch this right here. Ooh, Matt Schaub just felt it at the last minute, was able to pull it back into his midsection.
Matt Turk, 15-year veteran out of Wisconsin Whitewater, kicking to Powers. Nice kick. Oh, look at this kick. Powers all the way back to his 23, 30, and out to his 35-yard line. Joel Dreesen makes the tackle.
Well, Peyton Manning's last play was a touchdown pass, but prior to that, there's been a whole lot of frustration. His pocket has been collapsing around him. Mario Williams got him there. Williams knocked him down here at the end. And then he's had a couple drops. Reggie wasn't able to get that, but that pass at the end, that one where he threw to the back shoulder of Reggie Wayne, and Wayne reacted to the ball and Pollard did, that was beautiful.
3:50 on the clock, 2 timeouts for Manning. Play fake to a dive, sideline pass, that's complete to Gonzalez, and Gonzalez has a touchdown at the Colt 42.
And it's good to see Anthony Gonzalez back out here after hurting his knee the first game of the season last year, and talk about having 4 quality receivers able to be on the field at the same time. Just at wide receiver, Gonzalez, Garcon, Colley, and Wayne.
To a guy on the inside, and he's wrapped up at about the 48. Meanwhile, we anticipated this aerial show from Manning and Schaub. Let's take a look.
Well, you can see Peyton is a guy that's been a lot busier. He's thrown twice as many so far as Matt Schaub. But that interception, when you look at Matt Schaub, that led directly to the Colts touchdown. So the one big mistake mars Schaub's day so far.
2nd and 8. Manning goes down. Mario Williams.
Mario Williams, Antonio Smith in there.
Mario Williams, this is his 5th season, and he's made more of a habit than anybody else of sacking Peyton Manning.
Well, Antonio Smith was standing up, and they got there almost at the same time. Mario Williams coming in from the left side. He gets him probably a nanosecond before Smith does. They'll be arguing over who gets maybe half a sack there.
3rd and 15. And it looks like Manning got the defense to jump.
And a lot of finger pointing going on now.
Encroachment, defense, number 91, 5-yard penalty.
Penalty on Koya. It was really interesting
Still
talking
down
to Mario Williams, and he said, it's in my head that I was drafted and brought here to sack Peyton Manning. That's my mission in life.
And he's right. He's right. Reggie Bush couldn't change Peyton Manning around.
Manning not going to get the snap off before we get the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play in the first half here in Houston. The Texans 13, the Colts 7. Just a reminder, coming up, the Sprint halftime report. JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, Coach Cowell will have all the latest NFL scores and highlights, and Special preview of the U.S. Open men's final between Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic coming up on the Sprint halftime report.
There's the umpire back in his old spot here inside 2 minutes of the first half.
3rd and 10. The pressure. Manning got rid of it. A dive. And a dive looking for first down yardage and is not going to get there. Dragged down at the 45-yard line by Eugene Wilson and Bryce McCain.
We've got
a player down.
Yeah, we've got an injured Texan back by where they met Peyton Manning.
It's Antonio Smith.
Yep. He got the
injured
short
player
end of things.
inside the last 2 minutes and a half.
This Texans defense has played some good football here in the first half. Keep in mind that Brian Cushing, the defensive rookie of the year last year, he's not here, nor will he be here the next 3 weeks because he's serving a league-mandated suspension.
And he is a heck of a player.
Oh.
But I mentioned to you during the break, Dan, that the defensive ends on both sides have not disappointed today.
Oh, no. And Peyton Manning has been under duress this entire first half. Well, you know, he's had a random play here or there, but he's been dodging people, jumping around, being brushed, and just being flat knocked down a number of times.
Manning with a 4th and 2. If they don't make this, there's a lot of time left on the clock. Manning, that's complete. And reaching for the first down is Austin Collie.
And he got it.
The ball was spotted at the 42, so they're questioning the spot.
Right.
Here comes Ed Hockley.
The ruling on the field stands as called. The play resulted in a first down.
So Manning and the Colts keep the drive alive with 1:24 to play in the half.
That's one way to slow down the Colts, though.
Houston led 13-0 at one point before Manning's touchdown pass to Reggie Wayne.
This is where he loves Dallas Clark.
On the slant, Garcon to about the 31.
Well, even though Garcon has mishandled a couple balls, Peyton Manning still comes back to him.
55 seconds to play. Manning stepping up, throwing. Garcon, pulled it in with one hand inside the 10-yard line, down to the 6.
Well, Pierre Garcon rewards Manning's faith in him with an acrobatic one-handed stab.
And Manning, they give to a dive, near side, and out of bounds at the 5. Let's go back to that play and a pretty catch by Pierre Garcon.
Boy, there aren't many plays prettier than going up the sideline, and you see Manning didn't turn his eyes to him until the last minute, but squeezing the ball in between the corner underneath, the safety coming over, and that is just a thing of beauty by Pierre Garcon, and holds on to it after the hit.
2nd and goal from the 5. Little short pass to a dive, and a dive to about the 3. And the whistle blows, and Indy will burn a timeout here. Each team now with one timeout remaining and 21 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, Peyton was initially thinking about actually running a play without taking the timeout, but the timeout exactly the way to go. You still got the one remaining, and that you would burned off way too much time trying to get back to the ball.
Well, Peyton Manning always looks for anybody who's open, and that distribution is pretty common in a Peyton Manning football game. You know what was interesting about that last play, Dan? is Pierre Garçon, or rather Joseph Adai was trying to get Manning's attention before the snap, saying, tell me what the play is. Then it was the short pop to him.
It helps that all 11 people know, especially the guy who's getting the pass. It's just so strange looking on that sideline, watching Manning go over there and talking to Clyde Christensen and not to Tom Moore. That's going to take a while to get used to.
3rd and goal. Manning lobs it. Incomplete. Intended for Garçon. It'll be 4th and goal.
They went after the rookie. They go after Kareem Jackson, the #1 draft choice, and he was up to it. Outstanding work here by Kareem Jackson. He's right there, and as that ball comes down, Garçon is already well out of bounds. No interference, on him like glue. Well done by their #1 pick, who's been a starter since the first minicamp. They gave him the job, and it's his to keep.
So on 4th and goal from the 2, Adam Vinatieri with a 20-yard field goal attempt. And it is good. 15 seconds to play in the first half, and Indy pulls to within 3 at 13-10.
Well, Bob Sanders got hurt early in this game. Right there, he comes over the top, and he injured his elbow. It looks to me like that wasn't the way to pick a guy up with a bad injury. Matt Schaub comes back and hits Kevin Walter with a touchdown right down the seam on a beautiful play. But then Schaub it included the Colts converting on a 4th down situation out towards midfield where they were being very aggressive. And that gutsy call by Jim Caldwell, the head coach, got them 3 points.
Well, as you look at the quarterback comparison, there is no doubt, unless something drastic here happens in the final 15 seconds of the first half, that it's the Colts who will go to the locker room with the momentum in this game.
But I don't think that they were really looking forward to having Peyton Manning attempt 30 passes in the first half. Now that's a bunch.
And we get a timeout called by the Colts, and that is their 3rd and final timeout. Remind you once again, coming up, the Sprint halftime report. AB, Dan Shannon, Boomer, Coach Cowher, the usual suspects, all the latest NFL scores and highlights, and a preview of the U.S. Men's Open Final out of Flushing Meadow between Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic. That's all coming up on the Sprint halftime report.
A lot going on around the league. Again, it's just fun to have all these games going on at the same time. Keeping track of your game, keeping track of everybody else, and yeah, we'll get those bandits back in the studio. They'll
That's Jacoby Jones deep.
Well, I would imagine this will be some kind of a knuckleball here. Now they're going to let Jones out.
Jones.
I hate to challenge Jacoby Jones.
From the goal line. 20. Out to about the 23-yard line. And Matt Schaub will have 9 seconds and 1 timeout to work with.
I'd have knuckleballed it down there. I wouldn't give Jacoby Jones an extra chance to do something big. Not with this little time left in the half.
Thus reinforcing my longtime belief that you should have been a coach.
Well, no, but it's certainly easier to coach from up here. But that seemed like a no-brainer to me, especially a guy who's already found some open field running room here today.
Looks like Matt Schaub will take a knee here, and Houston at one point led this game 13-0. Then back came the Colts on a Reggie Wayne touchdown catch, an Adam Vinatieri field goal, and at the break, there you see the score. That's at halftime. 13-10 Sprint halftime report comes your way right after this.
Manning under pressure. Mario Williams got it. Schaub throwing over the middle. Touchdown.
That was beautiful by Matt Schaub.
And welcome back to Reliance Stadium in Houston. That is our halftime score. Houston 13 and the Indianapolis Colts 10. Welcome back, everyone. Greg Gumbel along with Dan Deerdorf. A new version of an old story. The Colts, when they fall behind, you may not want to do that because you just make Peyton Manning a little angry.
Well, the Texans are now entering what they know, Greg, are shark-infested waters. They have a lead going into the second half. They have been here so many times before, but yet now is when you have to take a look at history and reality, and that is that they have lost 15 of the 16 games against the Colts, and predominantly it's been because they haven't been able to close the deal.
And the Colts are very good at coming from behind. They got off to that 14-0 start last year. They were behind in 3 games. They came back to win all 3 at halftime. Now, a look at the points of protection presented by Allstate. Colts lost Bob Sanders early.
Yeah, early he got upended and landed awkwardly, and they say he has an elbow injury. It's a questionable return. Yes, Houston once again broke out to a 13-0 lead before the Colts got going. But Peyton Manning has been hot lately, and I think Houston right now has got to get it going offensively. They have just a little over 100 yards of total offense in the first half, and that's just not going to do it. You're going to have to possess the ball and try to keep Manning over on the sideline as much as possible.
Well, the Colts will kick it away. Steve Slayton is deep. And this is Slayton from the 1-yard line. Running room right up the middle. 30. And out to the 35-yard line before he's tripped up by Justin Tryon, who has been pretty good on special teams today for the Indianapolis Colts as we look at some numbers from the first half.
And you take a look at that and you can see that the Colts are the ones running all the plays. I think they've got like 14 more plays than the Texans have run. That one turnover you see for the Texans, very costly. That led directly to an Indianapolis touchdown. So, again, I think the offense of the Texans is in need of getting moving here in the second half.
Let's see how Matt Schaub and company come out for this third quarter. This is Arian Foster right side. He has been an impressive runner in this game so far, out across the 40.
Well, and I think we're going to have to see more of it, because if they could just crank out some first downs and get a little continuity going on the ground, that'll really help out Matt Schaub when it comes to play action. You know, he was very successful on play action early when, after they ran it a couple of times for some yardage.
What did he say? He decided early on he was going to be a football player when he figured he wasn't that good in basketball?
He gave up hoops. I think that's true for a lot of the guys out here. You found the sport you were good at and pursued.
On 2nd and 2, Foster again. First down yardage. Up to about the 49 and a first down.
Well, nice looking play here. Nice design and a good seal block right there on the left by Dwayne Brown. And boy, when you're able to see a running back coming at you like that, you can't see anybody. And there's their new offensive coordinator, Rick Dennison, who came from Denver. Of course, he and Gary Kubiak have such a long history together. Kyle Shanahan, the former coordinator, went to Washington to be with his dad.
This is Steve Slayton, and Slayton across midfield and twisting to the 45 of the Indianapolis Colts. That's about a 6-yard pickup.
Well, this is what you want to turn Dwight Freeney into, and that's somebody defending the run. And that's anything. I guarantee you, Dwayne Brown, their number 76, he's going, I'll do this 100 times just so I don't have to start backpedaling and try to keep him away from my quarterback.
Houston dead even on the ground and through the air, 14 plays each. And this is Slayton, and Slayton is wrapped up and still pushes ahead for about a 3-yard pickup.
You could see that Indianapolis really showed it. Clint Session, number 55, watch him come up here, brackets up in there. Texans were arguing that actually Session had his foot in the neutral zone and should have been flagged. I thought he was in there too. I was surprised I didn't see a flag fly.
Foster back onto the field, takes the pitch, and here he comes. Cuts it back and out of bounds just inside the 30-yard line of the Colts.
Good job by Matt Schaub of quick snapping that, and the Colts defense, they weren't ready. They weren't ready, and before they knew it, here comes Arian Foster running downhill behind Vontae Leach. And that was an effective job by the quarterback of getting that thing started a little earlier than the guys in the blue shirts wanted it to.
13 carries for 68 yards on the ground for Foster. And you were right, Dan. He is a big running back.
Yes, he is.
First down. Foster inside the 25. And now the Texans taking it to the Colt defense on the ground.
Well, this is exactly the drive they needed. Now, it's been a good drive so far, but again, the operative word for the Texans and everything they do now in this second half, finish. Can they finish the deal? Nice drive. Does it result in a touchdown? You can see right there that Houston is trying to improve that pretty dismal running attack.
This is Slayton to about the 21. And
Mitch King had his helmet come off.
You know, no one prizes this running game more than Matt Schaub. He agreed with us. He agreed with us yesterday. Hey, it makes your play action work so much better.
And number 18 would tell you exactly the same thing. It makes life a whole lot better when those linebackers and safeties suck up and bite on that run fake.
That's 7 straight rushing plays, maybe 8 in a row. But this time, Foster is met and spun around by Robert Mathis.
Well, here we are now with a 4th and short. And this is where if you're Gary Kubiak, you say to yourself, darn right we're going for it. Why not? You're 1 and 15. I think that's got to enter into every decision you make here. What can we do to break this half?
Foster and Leach in the backfield. This is Arian Foster trying to turn the corner. He will. Gets the first down.
Normally, that type of a move by a running back plays right into the strength of the Indianapolis Colts, which is pursuit and stringing something out. But they lose the edge, and it's because Owen Daniels does such a good job of blocking Clint Session. Daniels, number 81 right there, ties up Session long enough. He's got to contain, and he can't set the hard edge. That was good work by Owen Daniels back from that ACL.
You know, that whole offensive line was pretty impressive. And now here's Foster. Foster to about the 14. As Foster traveled across that line, you kept looking for a blue jersey to puncture. It didn't come through.
No, it didn't. And normally, that 9 times out of 10, that's just death trying to make that outside jump against the Colts defense.
On the sideline.
Yeah, that's Ben Tate. Yeah, he was their 2nd-round pick this year. He tore up his ankle, broke his leg, and he's on injured reserve, lost for the whole year.
Schaub to throw for the first time this half, and it bounces up incomplete. Intended for Jacoby Jones.
Why does that ball always seem to bounce right to Gary Brackett? Even though it hit the ground. I'm sure everybody in this stadium, they've seen enough of Gary Brackett and him ending up with the ball. And that contact a little early in there by Gerard Powers. He got that arm and he hit him hard enough to cause a little movement.
3rd and 6. Slayton now into the game. That's in motion. And into the slot. Shaw throws over the middle inside the 10-yard line. It's complete to Andre Johnson.
Well, where's this spot going to be?
And that's going to be really close to a first down. We're going to get a measurement.
Yep. That looks to be the spot the Texans needed.
Gary Kubiak's already looking for his first down play.
Well, he's already gone for it on 1 4th down. And he's not going to have to do it here.
1st and goal for the Houston Texans.
What a drive this has been to this point.
It's like the Houston Texans went into the locker room at halftime, took a deep breath, and came out and started all over again. 10 rushing plays and just 2
altogether.
through the air.
And chewed up 620 and counting. But again, F-I-N-I-S-H, finish.
Foster to the 5. To about the 1.5.
Again, good blocking on the left side. Dwayne Brown gets a good seal block to the inside. Wade Smith, the guard they pick up from Kansas City, comes through the hole, gets a good block. And that is exactly, the only thing missing is some popcorn and a movie ticket. That's where you want 18 to be. It's just if you're sitting behind him, you go, would you please take off your hat?
And we have timeout being called by Matt Schaub, and we'll take a break. Houston looking to put more points on the board. It's a pretty interesting statistic.
Yes, it is. But it's because what they've done with the ones they had.
Second and goal. Foster looking for the end zone. No. Short at about the 6-inch line. Gary Brackett with the stop.
Foster was arguing that Brackett had him by the face mask. We'll be able to see a good look. Again, here comes Wade Smith around. Nice kick out block. Leach is having a heck of a game. And there's no question that Foster was down well short of the goal line. His knees touched, and as a matter of fact, that's a really good spot.
Third and goal. Foster, right side, touchdown.
Gary Kubiak couldn't have dreamed of a better drive than that to start the second half. And Vontae Leach, the fullback, he has been playing himself a football game. 44, watch Leach right there. Watch him come in, and look at Andre Johnson getting a block out there. But Leach has just played himself one heck of a football game, and Arian Foster is wise to follow the big guy into the hole.
Houston took almost 8 minutes off the clock here in the third quarter. 5 first down, en route to the end zone, and Racker's extra point is good. 7:03 to play in the third quarter. Finally, Peyton Manning will get to play football here in the second half. 20-10, Texans.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. KFC. Football fans, today is the day you double down. So good. And by Bing. Stop searching, start deciding with Bing, the decision engine from Microsoft.
Twenty to 10, Houston in the lead over the Colts. 7:03 to play. And a reminder, Wednesday on the premiere of Survivor. And former NFL coach Jimmy Johnson lead his team to victory. Don't miss Survivor on its new night. It premieres this Wednesday only. CBS. Very impressive drive to open the second half. 15 plays, 66 yards. Arian Foster tying his brief career high with 20 rushing attempts, 89 yards on the day.
Well done by the Texans offensive line and Leach, the fullback. Very physical, well-blocked drive.
Devin Moore at the goal line for the Colts. And dropping the ball, picking it up, Moore at the goal line. Trying to get outside, not going to get there. Brought down at about the 15-yard line by Joel Dreesen, number 85, and back comes Peyton Manning. This is how Manning fared in the first half. And keep in mind, Peyton Manning was under the gun. There was some pressure put on him by this Houston defense.
A ton of pressure. He spent most of those first 4 possessions on his back, getting knocked down, getting jostled in the pocket. But again, he stuck with it and got 10 points to finish out the half.
So let's see how the Colts do. Their first possession. Little pass, complete. Collie. And he's brought down short of the 30-yard line. Glover Quinn, second-year cornerback out of New Mexico.
Well, they call them the kitty corners here in Houston because of the youth. Glover Quinn actually has the majority of the starting experience. He started most of last year, but
he's the old man.
Yeah, a lot of babies at the corner around him.
On 2nd and 1, this is a dive. And a dive with a first down to about the 35.
Boy, Ryan Dean, the right tackle, man, did he get a block on the edge that just created a real corner. Well, and that's Bernard Pollard kind of hobbling back to the Texans defensive huddle a little bit. This guy has been an all-star addition when he got here last year from Kansas City.
No huddle for the Colts. Manning from the shotgun. Pulls it down, now throws Dallas Clark. And Clark wrapped up at about the 41-yard line.
And you know, Greg, Dallas Clark and his lack of production today is a big story because he's just tortured the Texans over the years. Last year he had 14 receptions in one of the games against Houston, and Dallas has been pretty darn quiet so far in this game.
4 catches, good for 28 yards, 2nd and 4. Quick pass, Dallas Clark to midfield and a first down for Indianapolis.
There's Anthony Gonzalez on the Indianapolis sideline talking to the training staff and the doctor, so we'll not quite sure what's going on with Gonzalez.
First down. A dive. Nice move at the line of scrimmage and inside the 40, inside the 35, and a first down again.
Boy, that was a little bit of everything on one run by Joseph Adai.
Great finesse, feet, little power.
Yeah, that had it all. First of all, great vision at the beginning to make that cutback. Then the quick feet to make a guy miss. All right, here comes the vision to start with. All right, let's get going. Here's the little nifty move. Right, and then power. Let's finish it with a little power. And Eugene Wilson got the short end of that attempted tackle.
Donald Brown in the lineup. Manning has it batted down at the line of scrimmage. Is that Antonio Smith?
I think so. Well, yes, he's looking at the hand going, there must be a reason why this is stinging so much. Right there. Well, a good job by... They move Antonio Smith inside on pass situations, and he has had a wonderful camp and preseason.
That snaps Peyton Manning's string of 9 consecutive completions. 2nd and 10. Manning down to 2 on the play clock. Throws the slant, that's complete. Collie inside the 30 to about the 28 or 27-yard line.
I love the way the crowd starts booing. It's like Peyton doesn't have the right to do that. You're cheating. You're changing the play. You're not on. Be a man. Run what you called originally. Doesn't work that way, folks.
And the noise is not likely to bother him either. 3rd and 4. Makes his intentions known at the line. Manning going to run out of time here.
Well, Charlie Johnson, his left tackle, was completely confused. He did not understand what Peyton was trying to do. Keep in mind, Charlie Johnson missed a lot of training camp with an injury. It showed there. Welcome back to Houston, everybody. There's Charlie Johnson right there, number 74, and look at him up there waving his arms. He doesn't understand what the heck is going on. Peyton is never able, and finally Peyton calls the timeout.
Now on 3rd and 4, Manning. Throwing. Incomplete, penalty marker down. Interference call is going to go against Bryce McCain as he tried to guard Reggie Wayne.
It looked like Reggie was wanting to turn upfield, and McCain didn't allow him.
Before the pass was thrown, illegal contact, defense number 21. That's a 5-yard penalty for the previous spot, but it carries an automatic first down.
Well, the officiating staff determines that the contact came before Manning released the football, and that is why it's just the 5-yard penalty instead of the interference, which is a little more yardage. Gary Kubiak was really upset after that Manning timeout. He didn't think he got it called in time.
As was Antonio Smith. First down now at the 22-yard line. Quick drop on the slant, and that's incomplete. Thrown behind Wayne. It'll be 2nd and 10.
We showed you before Charlie Johnson not getting what Manning would want to do, but after the timeout was called, Gary goes, "I want to see you, Ed Hockley." He's making the argument, I'm sure, that, hey, I know it's Peyton Manning, and I know he's really good and stuff, but he didn't get that called before the play clock expired.
Second and 10. Manning incomplete. Over the head of Dallas Clark. You know, in all of the intensity that we've seen in the Houston Texans, nobody's more intense than Gary Kubiak. We said, he just told us very simply, if we want to get where we want to go, we've got to beat these guys. No, that's simple.
Gary is a Texan through and through. He's a Houston native, and he doesn't believe in excuses. What is what is, and what it is that the Colts own this division, and the Texans would like to have a seat at the table.
3rd and 10. Running out of time. And this time, did he get the timeout?
Timeout call came through.
Yes, they gave it to him again.
5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Nope, delay a game.
Well, I didn't see a flag.
I didn't either.
There is no flag. But they are marching off 5 yards. Well, you can't make a living playing that close to the edge without stepping off the curb every now and then. So
Texans defense trying to stand up. 3rd and 15. Manning going down. Mario Williams and Jesse Nading.
pressure has been there all day against Peyton Manning. Now, first of all, Manning, he sets up, he's looking downfield, but he sees, because he was coming from his right side, he sees Mario Williams just easily coming around the corner, and that takes Manning's eyes from downfield. No chance at a completion there. Mario Williams is playing himself a football game.
This kick by McAfee, and there is no one deep for the Texans. And this will roll inside the 5 and down at the 1 by Justin Tryon, and we got a penalty marker. Did he step out of bounds?
Well, we see an official without a hat. That's an indication.
It was illegal touching. Number 20 went out of bounds. He then came back in bounds and was the first to touch the ball inside the 5-yard line. That results in the ball being placed at the 20-yard line.
That's an automatic touchdown.
big break goes the way of the Texans.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by GMC, the official vehicle of the NFL. And by Verizon, the official wireless service provider of the NFL.
You're looking at a crowd of 70,974. That's the third largest crowd for the Texans in their brief history. Let's see if the Texans go back to their ground game with Arian Foster. That's him. 32-yard line and a first down.
Well, here's how they got the ball at the 20 instead of the 1-yard line. Up here, this is Justin Tryon, number 20, and you'll see him right there. He runs about 10 or 12 yards out of bounds and then comes back in and makes the play, but that is just an open and shut case and a nice little 19-yard pickup for the Texans on him being the first to touch the ball.
Meanwhile, Arian Foster, 21 carries, 100 yards on the day. And he's going for more. Right side, out across the 35 to about the 38-yard line where Daniel Muir makes the stop.
Good hole, but he also made Gary Brackett miss pretty handily. That's a pretty slick move on the part of Arian Foster, who for a bigger guy, a taller guy, is proving himself to be kind of elusive as well. You don't see Gary Brackett. He's one of the surest tacklers in the NFL and everything you'd like in a middle linebacker, other than he doesn't look the part because he's pretty darn small.
Foster to the sideline for a breather. Slayton. And we get a whistle. And this is going to go against Houston.
False start offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty. It's second down.
That's left tackle Dwayne Brown. Foster is giving Gary Kubiak everything he could possibly want in a ground game today, Dan.
Well, I'll tell you what else he's giving them. He's giving them a lot of production for not a whole lot of money. Keep in mind, he's a second-year player playing on a free agent's contract last year on a dollar per yard basis. That's he is a bargain for the Houston Texans.
Houston has come out of the locker room and has run the ball 15 of its first 17 plays here in the second half. Shaw's going to throw it here. Complete. Owen Daniel looking for first down yardage.
Listen to the crowd appreciate how much they enjoy seeing Owen Daniels back out on the field. The 8th game of the year last year where he tore his ACL, and he already had 40 receptions, and he was on his way. He was on his way to a 90 reception plus season, and such a big part of their offense. And it took them 3 or 4 weeks to actually finally adjust to the fact that he was out of the lineup.
You've alluded a couple of times, Dan, to how physical they are, and that was a goal of the coaching staff. Gary Kubiak in training camp, he said, we hit more because we wanted to be more physical as a team.
You cannot say to yourself the first week of October, I think we're going to become a better running team. It doesn't work that way. As Gary told us, we've been in pads more. We've had more 9-on-7 thud drills. They have worked on it from the day the season ended last year, and we'll see how it plays out over the course of a year, but keep in mind they only averaged 92 yards a game last year on the ground, and they seem to be off to a good start.
Welcome to those of you joining us, having watched Jacksonville. As soon as the game resumes there, we'll get you back. But meanwhile here, it's been an impressive performance by the Houston Texans. Ground game to start the second half. They've taken control, and we've come to the end of the third quarter with the score. The Texans 20, the Indianapolis Colts 10. We're coming back to Houston after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS.